Assalamu alaikum guys. This video has been developed to describe research process, that what is research process. In different books and different online sites you will basically uh, look different types of the explanations about the research process, that what do we mean by the research process. But in this video I have tried my level best to describe the research process in a very simple way, that most of the times for the beginners they are asked to elaborate the term research process. So what is the research process? Let's have a look. The research process basically consists of four main steps. The first step is topic selection and formulation. In the research process, the first step is topic selection and the formulation. What are the different research activities which are involved in the first step? These comprises of two main portions. One is known as preliminary literature review, and next is pilot study. So what is preliminary literature review? That is when you are going to select your area, your discipline, and you are going to convert that topic into the project, that is the topic formulation. Basically two main research activities are being performed. One is preliminary literature review, that you go through the literature, and the next one is the pilot study. These two activities are the part of the first step. And what are the outputs of this first step? That after going through the preliminary literature review and the pilot study, the different outputs the researcher will on hand comprises of problem statement, research questions, objectives, sampling, techniques, your variables, your hypothesis, your theoretical framework. So these are the different outputs of your first step, that when you are going to select your topic and you perform the different research activities. So what will be the output of such research activities? So these start from what will be your problem statement, what will be the research questions of your study, what are the objectives, sampling techniques. After going through the literature review, you will be in a position to define and describe what are the different variables, hypotheses, and framework. So these are basically some major the outputs of this research. The next step, that is the after the topic selection and formulation, is the data collection. First you go through the topic selection and formulation, so the next step is data collection. So this section, this step 2, data collection, basically comprises of two main major activities. One is primary data and secondary data. Primary data and secondary data, these are the sources of the data collection, that is the primary data and the secondary data. If you are going to collect the data for the first time, this is known as the primary data, also known as the first-hand data. If you are going to collect the data that is already have been published, so that will be titled as the secondary data. So these are the steps, the research activities in the step 2, and what will be the output of this particular step 2 and these research activities, that is we will have information that after going through the data collection sources, we will collect data either through the primary source or through the secondary source, and the output that we will have in our hand will be titled as information. So the output of the second step is the information. The third step is basically data analysis. That after the first two steps, the next step in the research process comprises of the data analysis. And what is the different research activities which are involved over here? So it basically consists of the two types of the analysis. One is the descriptive analysis and one is the inferential analysis. So first we will describe the descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. That what is descriptive analysis? This descriptive analysis again consists of reliability test, demographic tests, measure of central tendency, and measure of dispersion, etc. So these are the various activities that are being performed in the second stage or the second step And what are the different inferential statistic tests or tools? The next one is the inferential analysis. So in the inferential analysis, we are basically concerned with the that we are talking about t-test, z-test, ANOVA, etc. These are the various activities that are being performed in the third step. And what are the outputs of this third step, that is the data analysis? That after going through the different analysis, that when we apply the different tests for the analysis purpose, then we will have some something on hand that will be known as our output, and the output here is our results. The results are basically our output of this third step. And, the last and the final step in the research process is data presentation. Data presentation is the last step in the research process. What are the different research activities involved here? Includes editing, coding, doctoring, etc. And the final output is here, is in the form of a report or thesis, paper, etc. So if we go through the research process in brief, so the research process consists of the 4 steps. The first step is the topic selection and formulation, and the research preliminary literature review and final studies are the research activities. There are the different outputs as well. The next step is in the research process is the data collection. What are the different research activities? These includes primary data and secondary data, that is basically the data collection, and the final output over here is the information. The third one is the data analysis, and there are also different tests, statistical test, descriptive analysis, and inferential analysis are included, and the final output is the results. The final step is the data presentation, and the output is the report, thesis, paper, etc. Hope you guys will find this video helpful.